Welcome to WagerTalk TV. Brian Leonard to my left, Marco D'Angelo to my right. Gentlemen, welcome to the SEC Game of the Week. Okay, maybe not quite, but very, very close. I'm excited for this one. The Auburn Tigers now a 3-point home underdog after this one opened up as a pick'em. Looks like on the WagerTalk odds page, about 63% of the tickets on LSU, 60% of the money. So I can see where the uptick came in here. Total about 65.5 across the board. We do see 166 offshore. This looks to be a high-scoring affair. Brian, I'm going to go to you first. I want to know your thoughts on this SEC matchup.
Yeah, if you wanted LSU, chances are you missed the opportunity. At 3, it's probably a no play for me. But, this is the first time since 1999 that neither of these teams are ranked. That's a rarity when it comes to the SEC there. LSU's going to go with T.Y. Finley to start at quarterback for the injured Miles Brennan. He was the quarterback last week. He did very well. Brennan missed last week's game as well. He's just a freshman, but I believe he brings more of a big play ability to this offense. If you take a look at their yards per pass, he's been able to extend the field a little bit more than Brennan has. I think that's a positive for LSU. It may be some reason why this line is going up. In reading some of the Auburn papers, they were talking about how they played the Tigers better than anybody else last year in losing that game 23-20. They were 10.5-point underdog in that game, but in reality, LSU had 221 net yard advantage in that game. So they basically did what they wanted to do. Auburn was able to stick in the game. Traditionally, this has been a real tough series, a real tight series, with the finals being decided by 3, 1, 4, and 5. The reason why I lean with LSU is because of the Auburn quarterback. I don't think Bo Nix is very good. The offensive line has been having a hard time keeping them up. And the LSU defense puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And I don't want Bo Nix anyway, but if I got to have Bo Nix running around in trying to improvise, that's bad Bo Nix, and that's not what I want. Lean with LSU. If I can get it for less than 3, I'll probably be on it. But at 3, it's a no play for me.
I would agree with you. If you like Auburn, it appears you might be, if you like LSU, appears you might be a little late to the party. I have not been high on Bo Nix myself, but Marco and I were in agreement last weekend that they were going to have a bounce back spot, and they did. Marco, are you rocking with the Tigers again this week?
Well, Kelly, this game here, LSU after last week, the narrative's going to be LSU's back. Man, they blew out last week South Carolina 52-24. Everybody will jump back on that bandwagon, but I'm not ready to do it. And the other part of it is they're also going to point out that that team that LSU demolished last week, well, they also beat Auburn. South Carolina beat Auburn. And the public's going to look and say, well, if LSU can beat South Carolina and South Carolina can beat Auburn, well, then there should be no problem for LSU in this one, right? Well, if you use that style of handicapping, you're going to end up in the poorhouse. I like to call that an ABC game where the public is going to look automatically to LSU. And the 3 teams that we're talking about, they're all individual games and they should be handicapped on their own merit. I'm going to talk about that the Auburn win over South Carolina. Let me try that again. The loss by Auburn to South Carolina 2 weeks ago. If you look at the stats in that game, they totally outgained them in that game, 481-297. It was 3 turnovers that did them in that game. And also for LSU, they had some time to prepare for South Carolina. They were coming off another embarrassing loss, so they were looking to bounce back. This is not the same LSU team that was the national champion last year. They lost so many people from that team, obviously star players to the NFL, most notably Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winner. I just don't see this team getting the job done. Yes, the offense has been scoring points, but the defense has been very uncharacteristic from what we are used to seeing with LSU. And talk about defenses, Kelly, how many times have I tell you, you give me the better defense and give me points? Where am I going? I'm going to that dog getting points and make it a home dog. Yeah, I'm there. Sign me up. I got a lifetime membership to that club. I'm there all the time. And you look at LSU, their defense is allowing 7.2 yards per play. Auburn is averaging only giving up 5.4. Huge difference there defensively. And as far as Bo Nix goes, yeah, he's not had a great season. I'd be the first to admit that. But he did lead 2 drives in the fourth quarter. The first one gave them the lead. They gave back the lead, and then he had the game winner at the end. That kind of game-winning drive can really send a team on their way and give Bo Nix the confidence that maybe he's been lacking so far this season. I'm on the home dog here. I like Auburn 34-30. And as we like to do in another show, Kelly, that you and I are on, we're going to go a little sprinkle time with it. Go Auburn plus the points.
All right, at Marco in Vegas on Twitter, at B Leonard Sports on Twitter. Make sure you're giving both of these guys a follow and head over to our WagerTalk YouTube channel and check out all of our other videos.